Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Becoming a Billiken presentation at St. Louis University. We're so glad that you are viewing this presentation. My name is Susan Fennell. I'm the Director of Orientation at SLU. I've worked at SLU for 14 years, and I work with a variety of our orientation and transition programs for our first-year students. At this time, I'm going to ask my friend who is here with me to co-present to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nandini Fonseca. I am a current junior at SLU, majoring in international business. Home for me is Atlanta, Georgia. And a few things I'm involved with on campus is our fall and summer orientation programs, and I also work in the Office of Admission. So, a question that might be on everyone's mind, don't worry, it was on my mind as well. What's a Billiken? Now, okay, you might have the definition, okay, you looked it up on your phone really quick. It's a mythological creature for the good and things are the way things ought to be. Now, if you go up and ask a SLU student what's a Billiken, they might give you that answer, but then I find that a lot of us have our own personal meanings to what a Billiken is as well. For example, my own, a Billiken, I see a Billiken in each person that walks down SLU's campus. I see a Billiken in the way in which each student authentically goes about striving for good and doing good every day and going for a deeper meaning and finding their passions within everything that they do. Now, part of that is also our Catholic Jesuit identity. So we are a very mission-based university that can go from educating the whole person to deeper reflection, which we'll talk about, and truly being inclusive to those of differing identities, beliefs, and practices around us. We want to be elbow to elbow in true community with each other to learn about each other's beauties and differences and what makes us a true person and just come together to find those things alike, to come and be this one great Billiken family. Now, talking about academics at SLU. Now, I can personally, first-handedly tell you, I have felt the academic rigor at SLU. Those general chemistry courses, those principle of biology courses, and a lot more. But what I can also tell you is that I have never felt alone in those courses. Now, we talked a little bit about our mission and our Jesuit identity. Something that I definitely feel is full and true at SLU is people want to see you succeed. That can go from the faculty, staff, other students as well. People care for you, especially professors, for you as a whole person and as a person first. Sometimes I'll go into an office hours or a professor's office hours and go there to talk to them about academic work. And they'll take a second, stop me, and say, hi, how are you? And really get to know me first, where I'm from, what my passions are, what brings me to their class, and so much more. They challenge me to critically think and to deeper think about a situation and how it may fit into the bigger picture of our society and our nation. And they're there every step of the way to truly make sure that I am being the best person inside and outside of the classroom. But talking about academics now, I'm going to send it over to Susan, who's going to share a little bit more about some of our student successes here at SLU.
Thanks, Nandini. So one way that we measure student success is we think about freshman retention. Another way to think about this is persistence, the number of first-year students that start at the university and persist and come back for their second year. That's a sign of success. It tells us something's going right for that student. You can see that SLU is doing this at a higher rate compared to other schools. Now, another thing that we keep our eye on is graduation rates. We're sure you want to graduate on time and we want to help you meet those goals. Now, we have to look at two windows here, the 4-year rate and the 6-year rate, because some of our academic programs are designed to be a 4-year program, a 5-year program, or a 6-year program, and even a few a 7-year program. So we kind of have to look at both of those windows to see what's going on. Once again, you can see that SLU is doing this at a higher rate compared to other schools. Now, Nandini talked about our Jesuit education model, and a component of Jesuit education is discernment. Another way to think about that is reflection, asking the big questions. Who am I? Who am I meant to be? What do I want to do with my life? Who am I in community with others? How can I make a difference? Those are really big questions. And here at SLU, we encourage and challenge you to really reflect on those every year that you're here. Now, one way that I do that is as a staff member that works with a lot of different student leaders, I like to integrate components of reflection in the leadership training and development that I do with students. I know I'm not unique in that. I know that others are doing this work with students. I, do a bulk of that without the classroom experience in developing students. But Nandini could probably speak more about like how that has been more integrated into components of her academic life, whether in or outside of the classroom.
Of course, yeah. So for me personally, I was never always an international business major. I came to SLU and first I was an athletic training major on the pre-physician's assistant track. And something that really helped me through switching my major and finding out my true passion was the art of reflection, which was aided by many professors and staff at SLU. This also took a lot of discernment, which someone was there every step of the way. And I think that we can find that help and that reflection and that discernment through a lot of different majors here at SLU. Now, for example, friends that I still have in the athletic training community are now about to head into their clinicals or have already headed into their clinicals where they work firsthand with individuals in different communities to really care and serve them, kind of as we continue practicing our SLU ideals to be a person for and with others. To truly understand at a greater level what you may be doing on the surface level, but then also the impact that you may be making in the greater community here at SLU. And I think that goes for students in clinicals, but also friends of mine in the business school who may be doing data analysis work or internships at different companies and such.
So one of the things that we have in place here is a lot of things to support you academically and with your career. So every student is assigned an academic advisor. This is somebody within the school or college that you belong to. You're going to be meeting with them regularly every year, every semester. You actually meet with an academic advisor as early as our summer orientation program. And this is somebody that's going to guide you through your academic curriculum to help you graduate on time. Students are also assigned a faculty mentor within your school or college. Now, every school and college might do this a little bit differently, but the concept is the same. It's another layer of support, somebody that you can talk to about your academic goals, your career goals, think about potential internships or research opportunities at SLU. Now, Nandini talked about one service already a little bit and helping her with her path is thinking about changing a major. You could also access career services. There are career counselors there that you can talk to about your major or your career path that you want to be on. You could work with them on resume development or mock interviews, attend career and internship fairs. Career services is just not for students that are about to graduate. We want our first year students to engage in career counseling to really help you discern those decisions early on in college. Now, through our Student Success Center, we have tutoring and supplemental instruction and writing services. It's cool to be smart here at SLU, and we want you to get the most out of your classes and fully grasp the content that the teachers are teaching. So going to tutoring and getting the support from an upperclassman student to help you be the best student possible is a great idea. Or maybe your classes are more writing intensive, and so meeting with a writing consultant to really create the best research paper that might be assigned in one of your classes is a great idea. Sometimes students just need a little bit of help in making that transition from high school to college and adapting your study skills and time management components. And so meeting with an academic coach out of the Student Success Center can really help you become the best college student and maximize your strengths and gifts. Now, our Academic Technology Commons, or we call it ATC, and Pice Library is just a fun place to hang out, go to the computer lab area, or the private study areas, or access Ask SLU, like our version of the Genius Bar that our information technology services support our students. Now, part of our Jesuit education is supporting you as a whole person. You show up to college as a whole person. We want to help further development. You can think of that as wellness, mind, body, and spirit. So we have a full-fledged student health center here at SLU. A cool component of it is we have a 24-hour on-call nurse. So if you're not feeling great in the middle of the night, you can contact that on-call nurse. to find out if it's something that can wait to get into student health, or if it's more emergent and you need to make your way to the hospital. Now, another component of transition into college is it's a significant life transition, and sometimes that can create stress or, maybe a little bit of homesickness. And talking to somebody could help you in that transition. So accessing the counseling center to talk to a counselor is a great idea to take care of your own mental health. Maybe you would prefer to talk to a campus minister and connect over faith component in that transition. So we have campus ministers on campus, also located in some of our residence halls. But campus ministry also offers a variety of different services. And one I want to highlight for you is our retreats. There's the Fresh Look retreat that's all about you as a first-year student and engaging with other first-year students and working with upperclassmen mentors during that retreat component. But campus ministry also provides all the different masses throughout the week, and obviously the popular one is our student mass on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Now, through our Simon Rec, we have our campus recreation and wellness department, and getting a good workout in or taking a fitness class is a way to kind of manage stress by kind of a physical activity component, or you could join intramurals and club sports. That's a really fun thing to do here at SLU. Now, first year experience is a big chunk of my life at SLU. It's where I work with orientation and transition programs. And Nandini is going to talk about some of those programs later in this presentation. But I want to highlight a couple things for you. We do have a first year, second year residency requirement for students to live on campus. Now, some of our first year students get exempt from that. They apply to be waived from that residency requirement. So if that's you end up being exempt from living on campus, you would be part of our first year commuter program. So if you live on campus, you have an RA, a resident advisor. And if you live off campus with your family, then you would have a commuter assistant, another upperclassman mentor. So those are going to be guides through you during your first year. Now, University 101 is an introduction to college course for 1 credit during your fall semester. About 75% of our first year students do take it. And it's all about you. It's an intro to college course. You take it during your fall semester. The class is small, 20 students or fewer. It's co-taught by a faculty staff member as the primary instructor, but also an upperclassman student as a peer instructor. And the course highlights different things about getting involved on campus, study skills, our university mission, diversity and inclusion, doing service, all the different things that we want you to know during your first semester at SLU. Now, the residential experience, I'm going to leave that to Nandini because she's lived on campus. So Nandini, why don't you talk a little bit about what that was like?
Oh, I would love to. So of course, here you see some benefits of living on campus on your screen: higher GPA, increased graduation rates, more social integration. And right here we have learning communities. Now you may ask, what are those? Here at SLU, we have an experience for first year students to join into a living learning community. Now that's an opportunity for students to live and be in community with other students of like interests, whether that's academic or other interests out of the classroom. For example, my first and second year, and I continue to be a part of this community, is the MICA Living Learning Community, where we focus on community service, academics, leadership, and interfaith values and community. Now, this is really awesome. For example, in MICA, we got to go to service together with some of the different students on our floor. This is also really helpful when, say, you're in a class with somebody who shares that lecture course with you and you have to do homework really late at night. You can just go down the hallway, knock on the door, and ask if you'd like to go do your homework together to kind of crunch out some of those harder problems. Now, about 50% of our first year students opt to live into a living learning community, and that decision can be made when you fill out the housing contract. Now, talking a little bit more about on-campus housing. So here we have a view of St. Louis University's campus. Now, these white circles that you see here, those are residence halls for our first and second year students living in community with each other. Now, right here in these blue circles, we have upperclassmen on-campus housing, which is usually apartment style. Now, more information if you'd like to see the details, the arrangements, and different things like that. More of that information can be found on the Housing and Residence Life website, and you can ask all your questions there as well. Now, oh, my favorite part of the presentation. Now, I know we don't know each other yet, but let me tell you, you will soon find out that I love to eat. It's no secret. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially with friends. Now here, we have a few dining facility options. First one up, we have Grand Dining Hall, which you'll kind of see pictured right here on the right, with this wonderful history of the Billiken. My favorite, I think, has to be the one in the middle with that cute SLU sweater on. But here in Grand Dining Hall, this will be in the lobby of Grand Hall. Now, there's a bunch of different food options. Of course, you can sit down and enjoy with friends. Then, of course, we have the grab and go style. So an example of this is something that I call Bread Company. Also, you might call the Panera Bread Company, but here in St. Louis, either the St. Louis Bread Company or Bread Co. I know sometimes some a little bit controversial. And then last and finally, we have the food court style. Now we have two food court styles on campus. One is in the Bush Student Center, and the other is a little bit down on campus next to Fuse Hall. In addition to this dining options, we do have a nutritionist and registered dietitian on staff. So if you ever have any concerns or would like to talk through anything, you are more than welcome to set up an appointment with them and figure out what will work for you best here at SLU. And now I'm gonna push it over to Susan to talk a little bit more about involvement and student engagement on campus.
Yeah, thanks, Nandini. It's hard to be bored at SLUs. Sometimes there feels like there's almost too many options of things to do, but we do have clubs and student organizations and lots of different leadership things that you can do. So like if you like to be a voice of the SLU students, then you might think about the Student Government Association, or if you want to plan fun entertainment for the students, then you could join the Student Activities Board. But there's one that I think is super cool, and I think Nandini would agree, is that maybe you want to go out and support our Division I student athletic teams. Well, join SLUnatics. They are all about bringing the spirit to our Division I sports here at St. Louis University. Go Bills. Now, I already talked about that you can join intramurals and club sports through our Simon Rec area on campus, but some students also get engaged by a global experience through a study abroad experience. You could go to our Madrid campus, can't leave that out. Now, we also have fraternities and sororities here at SLU. You are not going to find standalone chapter houses at SLU, being in an urban environment that's pretty cost prohibitive. So we're able to keep membership dues at a more reasonable rate. And so the fraternities and sororities are really able to spend more time thinking about their values and the focus of their chapter. But we do have a residence hall on campus called DeMatteis Hall. And sophomores on up in those fraternities and sororities are eligible to live there in communities. So they're building a community with one another, not just within their chapter. And about anywhere from 24 to 28% of our undergraduate students participate in fraternities and sororities. Now, we have cultural student organizations on campus that you could join, but we also have from our cross-cultural center different educational programs or speakers or our Atlas Week that you can attend during the spring semester with lots of cool events and panels brought to you by students and faculty. Recently, we had an MLK speaker for the SLU community, and that was amazing. That was brought virtually this year to campus. And so there's a lot of things that you can do to continue to educate yourself, which really speaks to our university mission. Now, we were ranked #2 in the country for a school that does service. So through our Center for Service and Community Engagement, you can find out ways to get involved on campus, like volunteering hours through our campus kitchen, or working off campus and volunteering for nonprofit organizations one time or a long-term commitment. But Nandini, why don't you share how you got involved on campus and what you do?
Oh, I would love to, Susan. So I think getting involved is a wonderful opportunity for students at SLU. I mean, it gives you an opportunity to, within the kind of bigger, greater love and family that we have of SLU, you get to find that small, more intimate community of students that share that passion and drive. Now, initially, when you come to SLU in your first year, you'll have something maybe called an involvement fair. where you can see anything and everything that you could possibly get involved with at SLU. And that is a great opportunity to kind of get the ball rolling for that. Now, me personally, I was given the advice that I'll share with you today. At least sign up for 3 things. Maybe one thing that you have enjoyed in the past and you want to continue and you're very passionate about. The second thing may be something to do with your academic intention. So whether that's kind of going with your major or something like that. And then the third thing is something you would have never thought you would have joined, something out of the blue, something maybe a little bit daring, up to you. Now, I personally chose the daring choice, and let me tell you, I chose to sign up for a cappella. Now, that was an experience in itself. Did I make it far? No, because we learned that I could sing. I just couldn't sing well. So it's a great opportunity to make friends. In fact, the people that I had that were watching my singing and listening to it during the little interview for the a cappella group, we're still friends to this day. We'll give it a little laugh and giggle walking down West Pine while I sing my songs as we go along.
So one of the things that we like to say is St. Louis City is an extension of our campus. We want students to get out and really explore and maximize what the city has to offer. St. Louis City is built upon the concept of neighborhood. Every neighborhood has its own unique name. I'm going to highlight a few for you. We're located in Midtown, and just a block from our college church is the Fox Theater District and St. Louis Symphony and things like that. So very arts and cultural component, just a block from campus. Just around the corner from us is IKEA in Midtown. Now to the east of us in the downtown area, obviously the St. Louis Arch, you can't leave that out, but our law campus from St. Louis University is located downtown, right amongst all the courthouses. Now just to the west of us is Central West End, a walkable boutique-y sort of neighborhood. Personally, my favorite cupcake place is located there. And just a little bit further, very popular with SLU students, Forest Park. It's the largest urban park in the country, larger than Central Park. I like to say the key word is free. St. Louis Zoo, Art, History, Science Museum, free. It's absolutely one of the things I love about living here is just keeping things accessible for the people that are here in St. Louis. And SLU students love to go out to the Forest Park to either get a picnic in, maybe watch the balloon glow, get a good run in, or use the bike paths. So it's a fun place to explore. Now, something within walking distance of campus is our Prospect Yards District. This was kind of a 2-year project, and it's been slowly opening this year. And one of the things we're waiting to fully open, it's called City Foundry. It's going to be the first food hall in St. Louis. Oh yes, I forgot to say, St. Louis is a foodie city. You love to eat, we could be for you. Yelp ranked us number 2 as a foodie city destination, and I could give you lots of recommendations for fun places to try to eat in St. Louis, as I'm sure Nandini would be able to as well. Now, one of the things that you may be thinking, okay, this is sounding good. I could maybe see myself at SLU. Now, what's that next step? Well, in your admission packet, it had information on how you can log into your MySLU account. It's actually where you find your SLU email. You already have a SLU email address. But in the MySLU account, we also refer to it as the MySLU portal. You're going to make your enrollment deposit. It secures your place in the freshman class. Now, after you make your enrollment deposit, you wait about 24 to 48 hours. You can go back into that portal, and then you can access your housing contract and sign up for that. And then again, you can get registered for SLU 101, our summer orientation program, through the MySLU portal as well. So let me show you what this looks like. So when you log into the MySLU portal, you're going to be looking for something called Tools tab. And when you click on Tools tab, this is the page that opens up for you. You're going to look first for the dollar bill. That's called Payment Suite. That's where you make your enrollment deposit. Then when you're ready to complete your housing contract, you go back in, you look for the little house, that's student housing. That's where you would do your housing contract. Then when you're ready to sign up for your SLU 101 orientation session for the summer, and we go live at the beginning of March for students to sign up for their SLU 101 orientation session. You can't see it on the page right now, but there's a little SLU 101 icon that you click on that to reserve your SLU 101 session for this summer. So we're ready. We work all year long to prepare for your arrival. Are you ready to talk about that, Nandini?
Oh, you know I am. You know I'm ready. Born ready. Right here, SLU 101 Summer Orientation. Now, this is one of my favorite events as a SLU student and as that experience. Now, it's a 2-day format experience. SLU 101 sessions are going to fall in the month of June. And as a former SLU 101 orientation leader, I can tell you that's a 2 days full of fun. It's an opportunity to work with your upperclassmen students, really get a relationship with us. You also get to register for classes, meet with an academic advisor, and learn really more about this new community and chapter that you are entering into your life. Now, after SLU 101 summer orientation, as you start classes for those first few weeks, you are going to have your fall welcome and orientation. Now, during August move-in, you're going to pull up, and trust me, you cannot miss it. Those orange t-shirts, you won't be able to miss it for a mile. Those are your Oriflamme leaders. Now, we are here to help you from moving in to also just getting acclimated to that SLU community, introducing you to people, introducing you to resources, and being a help in any way we can best serve you. Now, parents and families, I know SLU 101 and Oriflamme and fall orientation all sound like a whole lot of fun. And don't worry, I'm gonna keep you in suspense. We got some things for you too. Kind of talking a little bit about SLU and COVID-19 here. So these past 2-3 semesters at SLU have looked a little bit different, but just to ensure that we are being a community for and with others. We want to keep everyone as safe as possible and care for each person in our community. So we have flexible learning styles. Students can opt to be online for the semester or in person. And within those come different things. So if you would like to choose online courses, you have synchronous and asynchronous classes. That just depends on whether you'll meet with the class online at specific given times throughout the week, or you take the class how you would like it at your speed, and making sure you're doing those little check-ins with professional staff and your professor. If you opt to be in person, we do have those socially distant classrooms and hybrid courses. So that may mean you go to the in-person class once a week, and the other day you have class that week, you Zoom in online. Now you'll see here, we also have this hashtag Campus Clear. Now that's an app that usually students will do in the morning to ensure that they feel healthy and they feel safe, to make sure that we're keeping everyone healthy, and ensure that before any student enters a building on campus, they finish that and they get campus cleared. We've thoroughly enjoyed this time with you through Zoom, being able to speak with you. We thank you for hearing us. And we would love to see you in the summer and in the fall through orientation and see you continue your career here as a Billiken. But we know that this choice is never easy, to choose the university that will be your part of your next chapter of your life. But something we want to leave you with, and something that we want to help you reflect, as we've learned in our Jesuit practices here, is how will you change the world, right? So we would love for you to be a part of this Billiken family and learn these tools and skills to go out and be a greater good and to affect those in the most positive impacts and ways that you can in your unique and authentic skill set. But we also want to make sure that wherever you choose is home for you and makes you the happiest person that you can be. So once again, we want to thank you, and we want to challenge you to think about how you will make the change in the world.
Thank you, Nandini. Yeah, I agree with what exactly Nandini just shared, that no matter where you are, really think about who you want to be and how you want to make the difference in the world. And if you choose St. Louis University, I'm so excited to meet you during our SLU 101 summer orientation program and our fall orientation program. I'll be one of the ones greeting you and welcoming you into the Billiken family. So thank you all again for your interest in St. Louis University and viewing this presentation. Nandini and myself hope to see you in the near future. Thanks all.